Hi, fellow lights and light travelers. This week's reading is about facing the journey that we're all on collectively, of knowing that a choice is being made and how we choose to move forward, and the possibilities of coming together. So with that, I feel like this is a strong reading, a beautiful reading. I feel it's a hopeful reading, and I hope you enjoy too. With that, please enjoy the Ascent and Summit. While you're here, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Enjoy your reading. Hello, fellow lights and light travelers. Welcome once again to Light Journeys Tarot, or welcome here for the first time if it's your first time joining me. I appreciate your being here and, connecting your energy to mine, and, knowing that there is good out there and we are connected in high vibration and caring, and all will be okay. As I like to caveat, if you're, been here before, fast forward this part. If you're new here, I always like to caveat and put the knowledge out there that I connect to the current energies. I've already called in my guides. I always call forth the highest good for the collective. But the caveat, the thing that I like to stress, is that you yourself have the power. You were brought here to receive this message, but it is your choice to take the guidance, to take what resonates, to release the rest, to trust that you have the wisdom if you follow your heart, right? If you lead from the highest good, to make the best decisions in your best interest. So this is just words of advice, but you take what resonates, you leave the rest. You are not bound to anything. You are not bound that this is done, 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 and this has to happen, and is what will be. This life is what you make of it. You have the power. You have the control. You are the ultimate decider of your journey. We're all on a path of light, and we are on a journey of light, okay? We come together at times like this to receive guidance. You don't even need me for guidance, right? We come because we've been trained and accustomed to seek knowledge outside of us. But trust me when I say you have the knowledge inside of you. You do have the knowledge inside of you. So this is an invitation back into trust of oneself, into trusting your heart, into knowing that you have the power to make the right decisions for your life. And yes, that doesn't mean we don't make mistakes in life. Those are just lessons to learn, to grow from, to alchemize, to, take into our hearts and to grow from and evolve from. And once you know better, do better, right? But let's get into the energies. Let's see what message Spirit wants to to bring through, and just know that you have the power. You are the ultimate source of your life. You've got this, and all will be well. With that being said, I haven't used this tarot deck ever. I bought it and I kind of just put it away. It's calling me today. I literally woke up with Beetlejuice in my head. Big fan of Labyrinth. I don't know what cards are going to come forth. Basically all these movies, but it was calling. This is the message that needs to come through. So let's go ahead and connect. Let's shuffle. Let's pull the cards and see what message wants to come forth for the collective today. Let's get into it. All right. What message wants to come forth? What message is wanting to come through for the highest good of the collective? What message has to come forth this week, or whenever it is that this individual light has come across this reading? What message would like to come through for them, for their highest good? What message is coming through for this individual and for this collective? What message is coming through, Spirit? Okay, trusting the stop. The first one is the Emperor, Scarface. The Six of Swords. The next one is the Five of Swords. All right. I'm actually going to open blinds. Put a little light in. All right, there we go. as with the emperor, or as we know with the emperor, right? This is about power, about influence. That is one of the strong cards, right? Power, focus, growth. I'm going to tie in, right, the fact that we've got Tony Montoya there, right? This is past, present, future. This feels like, as a collective, there has become a disenchantment is what's coming into my mind. A disenchantment with, because I'm in the States, I'm going to say the American dream, but it could be, wherever in the world it is that you hear this, the fairy tales that they weave of how things are supposed to be. So, you're supposed to go and get a white picket fence and, make lots of money, and then the world is your oyster, and da 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 da, right? As we mature and gain knowledge, as this world changes, as corruption surfaces, the knowledge that not all that glitters is gold and not everything is as it seems. This feels like perhaps in the past, you've been able to work yourself into influence, or you have been pulled by influence and power. And I'm not, this is not a judgment on anyone, right? This was the dream that was sold to the world, right? Whether you were here in this country of America or in any other country, sometimes they look to America or look to different people in their countries that were powerful as, oh, I wish I had that. Look at these castles these people have, these mansions they have, these lavish lives that they lead. You think about let me put this down. You think about the celebrity culture, right? There is a death of that happening right now because everybody's like, oh, these people like have bad morals, or like this is what they're following, or they're trying to sell XYZ product to us and it's not in our greatest good. The things that they're marketing, cause invasion of privacy. They're selling apps that, take our data. They are, companies that have corruption and ties to just bad, seedy, this XYZ. I'm not going to name any names. I'm sure if you, do a little research and, dig into things, you will be aware of who may be tied to what, right? There's this corruption that comes with this influence. So it feels like in the past there was this very big emperor quality, this very big, what is it that I want to say? This influence, although this card means, influence and power, there has been a corruption of it. There has been a eroding, a dissolving of that illusory way of moving throughout this world, because there has become an awareness that if you were to be an individual, or you have been an individual to build something, it is more powerful to build from a heart-led space that benefits like yourself and the community and the world, right? There's ways of, creating products that are sustainable and don't damage the earth, or putting in place rules or structures. I don't want to say rules, structures that help protect the everyday human being, the people that are working at the companies, all that stuff to live good lives. The laws that have been corrupted to benefit the few and hurts a lot of the people. Hence why, so many people, kind of feel like indebted and all this stuff, and, working to try to dig themselves out of the rat race, right? The rat race. And it's just like, I'm like hearing him almost being like, you little rat, and is this all there is? And, not that we want to live in that energy. I'm just saying there's an awareness of this. Like the glamour has faded from this past thing that looked so amazing, from this dream that was sold that really turned out to be this twisted, manipulative, I want to say illusion, this manipulative, wool that was pulled over people's eyes. You know, and you see how this takes place in Miami. It's like what you thought was sunshine and what you thought was things being clear and beautiful and bright was really like being put under the heat lamp, the heat, the stress, it was the opposite. And it feels like everything has been opposite. It feels like things are topsy-turvy. And now that has been revealed. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's been a bad thing, right? Sometimes things need to be revealed so that things can be changed. But this form of power, this is a past energy that no longer serves. This is the past. This is what was. And now things have changed. This is not an emperor of like a healthy emperor. This is like that Scarface energy. This isn't what it was sold to me at, right? This is a false bill of goods. This is not what it should be, and things need to change. All right, let's move into the next card. So the Six of Swords is moving on, is freedom, is transition. What I am drawn to in this card, and I tend to like cards that are a little bit more visual, but I can still connect. Immediately, I'm drawn to the bird in this card. I'm immediately drawn to this messenger. It feels like the news is coming in. The fact that perhaps this could be you receiving awareness, right? This is that present tense. This is you having the knowledge now, receiving the news, that this no longer serves, that things are transitioning, things are changing. So either news is going to be coming in on a massive scale to the collective. Because it's a bird, I'm feeling like, right, this is going to be, I feel like I'm hearing like word of mouth. So I feel like even if not everybody has access to, news, and we do know that sometimes, right, different news stations, name your choice, right, sometimes have skewed viewpoints, right? There is an overarching, a higher above, there's a clearer truth that's coming through, and that message is reaching people. And when it reaches one, people are sharing this news. So this could be the internet, this could be word of mouth, this could be physical letters coming in, this could be documents being revealed, this could be whatever, or maybe multitude of things coming in, and that's showing you that this transition is taking place. This power, this corrupt power, okay, is no longer serving or will no longer be standing, because this transition is coming. There is a knowledge, there is an awareness, there is a connection, and it is being spread. So this knowledge and this transition is here. This is this energy now. And it may not feel like it, right? You could be, as all of us are in the minutia of it, sometimes it's hard to see, right? The forest for the trees or the trees for the forest, however that goes. When you're in it, it just seems like you're encompassed in it. But when you're able to step back, right? And in time, in the future, I feel like there's going to be a stepping back and awareness of what's happening at this moment in time. And this moment of time, this present moment, is saying transition. And the news is here. The news is coming in. And I'm also drawn to the fact that this is mountain. So I feel like this is an elevated way of looking at things and an elevated energy that is coming into this. So where this may have been disappointing, like this disillusionment, this knowledge and this transition is bringing in better, is bringing in higher, is bringing in the knowledge of the collective wanting to and creating the change, right? Don't believe the one or two people that control the narrative. No, 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 no. This is a narrative being led by the people, by the collective energy. We want better. We want collective community support. We want less wars. We want livable wages. We want to move through this world and not pollute the planet that we depend on, right? This collective higher energy, this transition is taking place. Like I often feel, and I just feel like it's very obvious when you look at it from the outside perspective, there's very much tower moments coming or taking place. So this energy, this corruption needed to be exposed. Like it needed to be seen on the other side of the coin, away from all this glamour and glitz and, ooh, look at the life I'm living. But underneath there's this seedy, grimy underbelly that's being exposed so it can be cleaned, right? Like you've got to clean out the trash. You've got to clean and cleanse and transmute, right? We've got to learn from what was so that that doesn't happen again, right? As a collective. So this could be internally in your own lives, but also as a collective. And this feels very much like collective energy. So it feels like this is what's happening. So even if we as individuals were drawn to the glitz and glamour, we're seeing the grime and we're like, who wants that? Like, no. You know what I mean? If that's what power is, And then we're stepping into our collective power, our higher energy, our raising, our connection to working together, to coming together. And that message is coming in. So with the knowledge that we are receiving, the messages that are coming in, we are raising into that higher energy. So we are in that transition space. All right, cool. Let's get into the next one. So the Five of Swords is conflict. And that's okay, right? If we choose to navigate it like what's coming into my mind is, okay, so what keeps coming into my head, like it just bink, like it's just not letting me move on, so I'm going to share, is, I don't know if you've seen Indiana Jones. I believe it might be The Last Crusade. The one with the guy who played, I should know these names, Sean Connery, thank you, the guy who played 007. So that one where he has to go and find the chalice of Christ. So they believe it's, the Holy Grail and the chalice from which he drinks that gives eternal life and the fountain of youth and all of that stuff. But when he gets into there, he finds himself with a knight. He finds himself with, I don't know if it's a Knight of the Round Table or, one of those particular orders that are set to share the wisdom and protect the wisdom, right? There is this, what's the word I'm looking for? There is I don't want to say stoicism. I want to say and I don't want to say nobility because it feels like that sounds like I'm talking about classism. That's not what I'm trying to say. It is the the steadfast, I sometimes when I'm reading, my mind blanks because I'm just allowing the information to come in. So sometimes I can't think. It is what's that word I'm looking for? The sacredness, the goodness, the standing by things in the word keeps saying noble, but I don't mean nobility. It means like in an honest, good, caring way. So if there is conflict that is arising from this transition or has as a result of the transition, stepping into it, I feel like with that sense of guarding and protecting and heralding what is good and what is right. And yes, good can be subjective, but I think everyone agrees, no matter how you look at things in perspective, no matter what culture you're raised in or what group, they've boxed individuals into, right? And individuals have made the choice to join, right? There is if you stretch out, if you move out, if you look at the wider picture, there is an inherent underlying current that everybody wants. Everybody wants safety. Everybody wants love. You know, most people want peace. There are twisted narratives that feed into people's fears that I can't have peace unless this group is not here, or whatever it is. If we put away the differences, if we're able to join and focus on the grounding, loving, highest good for all, and we can learn to communicate and come together, there is a way to resolve the conflicts, and it's not going to be easy because it takes internal work. It's going to take internal work, and it's going to take dissolving the illusions that have maybe been set in place by those in power to create that division so that they can just control while everybody else fights among themselves, right? There is a healing that needs to take place, and an honoring of love and peace and protection of the earth and protection of humanity and protection of creatures, right? Love as the overriding force. So it's calling the invitation as if there is conflict to step into that mindset of being like that noble knight that is. And sometimes I almost want to say, like, yeah, there may be physical altercations to try to still navigate those with a sense of honor and integrity and doing the right thing. And sometimes that comes with not having physical fight, right? Like this knight in this particular movie that is just ingrained in my head right now wasn't out there fighting. He was out there protecting. He was out there protecting protection, protecting the good, protecting the knowledge, protecting and making sure only those that came forth had good hearts and good intentions. So there's that. It feels like an invitation to go into that energy of looking at what is the greatest good for all and moving forth from a pure, heart-led, loving space with the hope and the intention of ushering in and the passing on of knowledge and to all, but to make sure that those that carry forth are able to do so in a structure, that is like I'm feeling like fresh air and fresh start, and I'm almost seeing in my mind the planet in its healthiest form, right? And I don't just mean the people, I mean like literally Mother Earth, Gaia, being healthy, like the rivers being cleaned and not polluted, the like trash being picked up, and in that cleansing there is a each of us is called to internally work to heal and integrate and alchemize and move out of fear and into love and into that higher vibration to change so that this type of energy doesn't repeat, right? So within this transition, there is a potential that conflict could arise, but if we are invited to step into it with that noble knight, this is for the good, this is for the greatest good of all, I don't know if it's a Knights Templar or who it's supposed to be in that thing, but I feel like there is just an honest, pure, good. We are going to protect what is right, and we are going to make sure what is good remains, and we are going to make sure that the pure of heart are protected. And I cannot control. What I will say is, I hope that in this possibility, that there is an ability to reflect that everyone has the potential for good, And I hope that those that may get caught up in the conflict are able to step out of themselves and recognize the humanity in one another and the good in one another, and to step into the working together to make things cleansed for everyone and for this planet. So this is what feels like it's coming through. There's an overarching truth, and tapping into that intuition, into that third eye that's coming through. And it almost feels like a joining together, a meeting in the middle ground, right? What I'm seeing here is, it's the mountains meeting the sky, but it almost feels like, even though this isn't reversed, it almost looks like a mirroring. So can I see in you what I see in myself? Can you see in me the goodness? Can I see in you the goodness? Can we work together to create a balance? Can we recognize the humanity in ourselves? Can we come together to stop the great divide and to join like a mighty mountain rising towards the sky? Can we raise ourselves out of this conflict in this collective to something bigger, better, stronger, in clearer airs, right? The mountains up in the air, so you've got that pure air. Can we get ourselves? Can we raise ourselves? Can we structure ourselves into that clarity, into that wholeness, into that better version of the world, for each other, for ourselves, for the highest good? All right, so that's interesting. I'm going to pull some oracle cards and see what else Spirit wants to bring forth. All right, the first oracle deck I'm pulled to is the Mystical Shaman Pocket Oracle. Let's go ahead and see what Spirit wants to bring through to add to this reading. All right, Spirit, what else would like to come forth for this collective? What else, excuse me, would like to come forth for this collective? What else would like to come forth for this collective? Okay, being called to stop. Thunder. Interesting. I want to say this goes here. I'm also being called here, as I was shuffling this deck, what came into my mind was the movie The Matrix, and the red pill and the blue pill. And you have a choice to make. Dear Neo, wake up. The Matrix has you. You have a choice. And that choice that you make is going to choose. And I feel like this is the collective choice that is needing to be made, to wake up to the realities, to change things, to make a stand, to work for the better. A choice is going to be made. It's coming in. So yeah, that came through. And then let's see what thunder comes in. We have the mighty, I think this is bison or buffalo, coming in with the thunder. Let's see what the oracle deck has to say. This didn't come out upside down. Normally I think the medicine is upside down. For some reason I'm being called to read both. Just because, we talk about choices, it feels like there is work that needs to be done. So I'm going to read both. And, take what resonates, leave the rest. But just going to put it out there, and yeah. The essence. Legends speak of the great thunder beings who live in the sky and call for your attention when great occurrences are meant to happen in the world. Ooh, thank you, Spirit. Ooh, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. They warn when tensions in a situation are called upon to be released. Ooh, thank you, Spirit. I am sorry. Okay. I love when spirits and things like this drop. I mean, it feels like it happens every single time, and just know that you can do this too. Don't be like, oh, wow, this individual, she's so good at reading. You can connect to this. This is what I would love to try to impart upon you. The fact that you're here, that you're reading this, if this resonates with you, the universe is getting you this message because you have the ability to get these messages, just like I have the ability to get these messages. Okay. Forgive my printer. It is turning on and it is going. All right. Okay, so they warn when tensions in a situation are called upon to be released. Their presence in your reading reminds you of the dramatic moments in life that change everything, both awesome and frightening when thunder arrives. It is also a wake-up call, one that you will not soon forget. Ooh-wah! Thank you, Spirit. Did I not just say, wake up, Neo? You are in the Matrix. Thank you, Spirit, for that. Thank you, Spirit, for that confirmation. Again, forgive me for the printer going. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up. It's time to come out of the illusion. I'm just going to take a quick pause and let this thing finish making noises. No? Are you done? Okay, it's done. Perhaps, you know what? Let's pull that into it. Sometimes there's going to be distractions, noises. Are you going to call the attention to what is happening? Are you going to acknowledge what's happening? Are you going to turn a blind eye to what's happening? How are you going to navigate through when things are unexpected? When the thunder rolls in, you know, how are you going to rise? How are you going to choose to navigate this moment? Thank you, Spirit. The invitation. When thunder comes into your reading, it refers to a big dramatic change that feels like a herd of wild bison on the run. You feel it right through your bones, and you know that you are powerless to influence whatever events have been set in motion. This is a time to be prepared for anything. Your life is an adventure, and wonderful opportunities are arriving now. The trick is to learn to run with them. Qualities that you'll need now more than ever are flexibility, dexterity, and a willingness to experience it all without dictating from where or in what form opportunities will come. Your destiny is arriving. Be ready. And to me, right, in that invitation, there is, let me just take a quick pause. Okay, I shut it down. It might make another noise. Change, this chapter that we're in, this future that we're moving into, this choice that we're making as we wake up, could feel overwhelming. The unknown can be scary, but it could also be beautiful. People tend to fall into the, well, what if this happens? Da, da, da. Like we're so, because we have an innate survival instinct, going into fear to prepare for the what ifs, right? Has been a survival mechanism, is what I want to say. A survival mechanism that has helped push humanity forward. This is calling us into, yes, being aware, being mindful, but knowing that we have the knowledge to navigate this. Knowing that as a human collective, we've been through things. If you look through history, if you look at history, there have been horrible things that have happened, big wars. And as a result, afterwards, sometimes the most beautiful things. I can think of horrific world news that have happened and then, you know, people coming together afterwards. There is an invitation to hope. There is an invitation to change perspective. There is an invitation, instead of looking at things from, oh my God, this is so scary, what could happen, into awe and wonder. Wow, what could happen? Wow. We all have the knowledge now to make things truly beautiful. How are we going to choose to move through this moment? What wonderful things could come? How do we prepare and get ready for the opportunities that may lay before us? How do we come together to create the possibilities that we see in our hearts and mind as completely possible. You know, people say, you know, we should have clean water. We should have livable wages. We should have, you know, a collective that looks out for each other. We don't need this over-militarized state or whatever it is, you know. We need to protect each other. We need to love one another. We need to come together. We can make that happen. We have been told it's not true. That illusion of power is no longer serving, it's toxic. You know, it's listening to like the school bully that's like, you can't do anything, you're a loser, da 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 da. That's not true. It's not true. What happens when you step into the fact that this matrix, that this isn't real, that this illusion, that you have the control, that we have the ability, that we can come together, that we can create difference? I know this phrase may bother some, but the inherent truth, united we stand, divided we fall. United, coming together, creating the structures, creating the future each of us truly wants in our hearts is possible. How are we going to navigate? How do we move forth when this inevitable change is happening? How do we step into our power and navigate and create and transmute and step out of fear and into wonder? It's an invitation. It's an invitation. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying it's possible. It's possible. The medicine. Again, take what resonates, leave the rest. Do you feel like unnecessary drama is waylaying your life? Could you be exhausted from listening to others tell you their never-ending victim story, or could you be telling yourself a version of the same? It's time for an about face. You're being warned that to continue on this path will cause you to regret your choices, even if they appear benign or familiar. So many people, and it's human, which is why I can say so many people, stay in the comfort of the evils that you know. Oh, I'm so miserable at this job, but oh my God, what if I got another job? It could be so much worse. What if I move towns? Like, you're so afraid of what could be that you're comforted by the discomfort of where you're at. The benign or familiar is not serving you. The benign or familiar is not serving. The transition could be scary, but moving into it with a stoic, honorable thing, to know that this change is coming and to be aware and to step in it with wonder instead of fear, and knowledge as how to best navigate it, and courage and love can assist you to grow and move out of this funk and into something so much more wondrous. And that comes with internal healing, and that comes with collective healing. And it's not easy, but it's worth it. And it could be so much better if we just let it. It's time to say no to drama, both yours and others, to focus on solutions rather than problems. You, the collective, and you are worthy of a drama-free life. Thank you, Spirit. Plain, straightforward, beautiful. All right. The next deck that was calling to me is the Wisdom of the Oracle, and it's the pocket version. So let's get into it and see what message wants to come forth. All right, Spirit, what last message would like to come through for the collective at this time? What last message is wanting to come through for the collective? Feeling pulled to stop? Serendipity. I also want to say, as I was shuffling the cards, I was thinking in my mind, the printer started cleaning itself. And sometimes cleaning, excuse me, cleansing can be noisy, can be loud, can be distracting. Can be uncomfortable, but it's necessary. And it brings through a message of what could be on the other side. So sometimes the work is confronting in the middle of your work, right? It could be confronting. But the invitation is to do so and not be afraid. So I'm not sure where this falls. I want to put this here, and I almost feel like serendipity, and I haven't read it yet, is going to fall. Hold on. This feels like, let me just straighten this. It feels like this is going to fall here, but we shall read and see, and I'll place it differently if it so does. So serendipity, let's see what the message has to come forth. And this is beautiful. This almost looks like luck coming in. The 4-leaf clover, this feels like stepping into freedom, flying into freedom. This feels like fresh new beginnings. This feels like heart-led. But yeah, let's see. I always forget this book has like multiple readings. I'll share them all. Feel free to take what resonates, leave the rest. Pause, fast forward, do what you'd like. All right, serendipity. The essential meaning is opportunity allied with readiness, the awareness of synchronicities, luck and good fortune appearing as signs and symbols, and in a magical alignment of events. So this definitely, right? I felt like looking at things with awe and wonder, the opportunities, what could be. And this is almost like an invitation to look for signs, look for synchronicities, to trust, the good luck omens that come along, to show that things are going well, that you're on the right path, that you're aligned, that all is going to be well. Okay? The Oracle's message. You've stepped into alignment with the greater good, where your dreams and the collective dream resonate in exquisite harmony, right? We talked about that collective vision for what could be and stepping into that, right? Thank you, Spirit. Now is the time for luck and preparation to meet and to create miracles that you could never have planned all by yourself. Keep in mind that you are a channel for providence right now, as a higher energy uses you as a force on behalf of the whole world. Your fortune becomes everyone's fortune. Everything you bring into being now will leave a wondrous legacy for others in the future. That's right. It's like this future energy. Beautiful. Your service to the world is being supported at this time. Expect the unexpected and smile, for Spirit loves you so very much. And that's something unequivocally, I know without a doubt, that the universe loves us. And things might feel crazy, but these are like man-made lessons that are happening that we can choose to navigate, right? We have that choice as how we choose to navigate through it. But the collective energy, the universe, source, God, whatever you want to call it, the ultimate vibration is love, and we are held and we are cared for, and it wants the best and the highest good for us. So to know that, to feel that, to honor that, to follow that, Okay, I'll read these through. There's a relationship message, a prosperity message, and a protection message. Okay, relationships. Spirit has a plan, and that plan is to place you right in front of the right person at the right time. You have met or are about to meet someone vitally important to your journey. Someone Spirit wants to bring into your life. Only divine forces can plan this meeting. It is out of your hands, so pay attention to the signs Spirit presents. An option, take what resonates, leave the rest. And this could be not necessarily romantic. It could be like a work relationship. It could be, a friendship. You don't know. So however that manifests, that could also be that way, right? Remember, this is collective. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Prosperity message. You are in the right place at the right time. Be grateful, for the stars are aligned in your favor and fortune is smiling on you. Victory and success are yours. The choices you have made in the past have prepared you for the opportunities now before you. This is your lucky moment. The timing is perfect. How are you going to choose to rise to meet this moment? Are you going to be inundated with fear, or are you going to step into it with confidence, with love, with awe, with wonder, with the possibilities of what could be? You're being brought to this moment. We all are collectively. How can we transmute it and choose to move it in the highest good for everyone? We've got this. This moment is meeting us for a reason. We should be grateful to be here at this time, to be able to make this difference for in the present, for the future. Protection message. Perhaps you felt almost certain that serendipitous events were meant to lead to something better. It was supposed to be the perfect business, or that person you gave your heart to was supposed to be the one. Yet it all fell apart. Consider this. Sometimes synchronicity and serendipity come together to lead you directly into difficulties. In order to deliver an important lesson you need to learn before you hit the jackpot. This lesson needed to be learned. This corruption needed to be brought forth. So the lesson could be learned to move forward into the jackpot, to move forward into the world that we create from a cleaner, fresher air perspective. The lesson needed to be learned because a lot of us weren't aware of it. It needed to be learned. This difficulty was brought forth for a learning, for a knowledge, for the highest good. Okay? Don't get caught up in the drama of disappointment. There really is a silver lining in this cloud. Spirit always knows what you need and is guiding you to where you are meant to go. Pay attention to the signs presented to you. Thank you, Spirit. So in this reading, we are invited to be aware of the fact that we're not alone, to be aware that we are being invited to the highest good, being aware of our own power, that we can create what we would like, to be aware, to lean into the hope, into the awe, into the wonder, into the connection, the community, into the creation of the possibility of this hopeful future, to know that Spirit has our side, to know that we are loved and nurtured through this, to know that although things have been difficult, we are being, I want to say, shaped, built, strengthened, and we are being invited to use this new knowledge, this new strength, to lead from love, to create, to release this, and to create this beautiful, amazing future, if we so choose. So what is your choice? What is your choice, Neo? You are the one. We are all the one. What is your choice? What is your choice? I send you forth with light. We've got this. You've got this. You are supported. Let's move mountains. Let's clear the air. Let's create an amazing future. All right? Thank you all for being here with me. Sending you all light. Sending you all support. Know that you're not by yourself. Spirit brought you here so that you knew it. I'll see you here at my next reading. Bye.